Hi, now let's look at the value to each player again, but this time we're going to be looking at how different players might value a sandwich. You see the sandwich here, this vegetarian meatball sandwich that's 12 inches long, 1/2 vegetarian and 1/2 meatball. Okay, here we go. So here's a picture of how Marcus values this sandwich. But what we want to look at is how you might value a certain part of this, just like we did with the pizza. First of all, let's just check out what's going on. It's obvious here that Marcus likes meatball more than he likes vegetarian, actually twice as much. But the question here is, how much does he value this little part right here? And this little part right here is 3 inches, 3 inches on the veggie side. And it's symbolized here by this little bracket 0, 3. When you see this in the homework, know that that represents these first 3 inches of this sandwich. Well, how might we figure it out? Some of you already have it figured out, but I'll talk it through. Well, what do we know? We know that the vegetarian side of this pizza is worth $6. And since there's 6 inches over here, $6 divided up among those 6 inches means that each inch over there is worth $1. Let me see if that makes sense to you. So each of these inches must be worth, that's way too thick, $1. $1, $1, $1, $1. And that makes sense. That adds up to $6. And we found that by doing $6 divided by 6 inches. So then I guess if each inch is worth $1, then those 3 inches must be worth $3 to Marcus. Okay, let's look at another. So here's a look at how Jocelyn values this sandwich. Notice she likes meatball more than vegetarian also. $12 for the meatball, $3 for the vegetarian, actually 4 times as much. But let's talk about how she values this piece right here. So now we know that 8 to 12 means from 8 inches to 12 inches. And how many inches is that? That's 4 inches, 8 inches to 12 inches, 4 inches. And it's 4 inches on the meatball side. But now, what's each inch worth over here on the meatball side? Well, there are 6 inches here altogether. And those 6 inches now are splitting up $12. So $12 divided by 6 inches, because the meatball side is $12, equals $2 for each inch. So each inch over here is worth 2. That's way too thick, that pen. 2. Let's make this a little thinner. $2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Yep, that's 12 for the whole, $2 for each. So now if we want to find out the value from 8 inches to 12 inches, that's 2, 2, 2, 2, $4 is the value of that 8 to 12 inch piece. Are you getting the hang of this? I hope you'll be able to do these in the quiz before we have class this week. All right, here's another sandwich and another player, Rosebelly. These names come from students I've had in the past. So how does Rosebelly feel about this sandwich? Vegetarian and meatball are worth the same amount, so they're equally likable for her. And if I want to know 9 to 12, well, 9 to 12 is 3 inches. 3 inches on the meatball side. So to figure that out, there's a lot of ways to do it, but one way to do it is this way, is to figure out, well, what's each of these inches worth? Well, this whole half is worth $9. So $9 divided up among those 6 inches. 9 divided by 6, put that in your calculator, will give you $1.50 or 1.5. So we now know that each of these inches is worth 150, 150, 150, $1.50, $1.50, $1.50. I know you can't see all those, but we know each of those are 1. And how many inches do we have here from 9 to 12? 3 inches. 3 times 150 means that that part is worth $4. I'm going to write it in purple. $4.50. Some of you said, oh, I already figured that out my own way. You just took half of $9, and that's great if you did. $4.50. Okay, let's do one more to make sure you've really got this, because I want you to know how to do this before you get to class this week. Let's look at one more. What's going on here? First of all, who's our player here? Our player here is Michaela. Notice she values the vegetarian side and the meatball side the same amount, but this whole sandwich is only worth $8 to her, 4 and 4. And we want to know the value of this part from 3 inches all the way to 12 inches. Well, what's going on here? We know that this much is already $4 because we're told that up here for the meatball. So we just have to add in how much this part would be. And what is that? That's 3 inches of the veggie side. Well, what's the whole veggie side worth? 4 inches. $4, I'm sorry, $4. And isn't 3 inches here just half of 4? That must be $2. That side, $2. So we could say that we know that 3 inches of the veggie is worth $2. Or we could use our same strategy. This time we've got $4 divided up by 6. And that's going to give you something like 0.6666. And if we do 0.666 times 3, it'll come close to $2. We'll have to round it up and it'll make $2. So this 3 to 12, let's see what it's worth altogether now. Let's take out our big purple. $4 plus the $2 that piece is means that this piece is worth $6. That 3 to 12 piece is worth $6. Okay, I hope you got this. You're going to get a chance to practice it a little bit in a quiz that's coming up next